This week's speech tip is actually focused on technology, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start first with how a student's brain actually grows and how it learns. So when a student is born, they do have their core brain that they're born with, but every experience after that is actually helping their brain grow a little bit more, kind of like leaves on a tree. So interacting with friends, going to the beach, interacting with grandparents, playing with friends, building a tower, each one of those things is going to help that student's brain grow. Now what the research is showing, this number right here is that 400, it takes 400 times before one of those leaves are grown. You have to repeat something 400 times, unless it's through play. So you can see here, if it's through play, it only takes 10 to 20 repetitions. So if you're exposed to something and you hear it or see it 400 times, that's when it grows. But if you create it through play, it actually takes less time for you to learn those same skills. So why is that important? One of the reasons that it is important is kids are missing out a lot of the play opportunities that they had years ago. A lot of times we were playing outdoors more and going to the beach. And even when we were in a car, we were looking out the window and creating a game with our parents and communicating back and forth. These are a lot of times now where students are sitting in front of screens and they're getting less of that play opportunity. So what they're showing is with that lack of play opportunity, these technology pieces are actually leading to difficulties with student learning. So they did 200 different studies that showed too much technology is leading to aggression, more ADHD, more anxiety. You can see here a 49% chance of a risk for an expressive language delay for every 30 minutes that a toddler is on a screen time. So that's pretty significant. One of the other research that they did had a lot of students with behaviors, and when they took a true technological hiatus from the students, 90% of their symptoms went away. So what it is showing is technology is making it more difficult for our students to learn. So when we're at home and we have the TV on in the background and the students are still able to play, when they're coming into the classroom, they're kind of hearing that teacher talk kind of in the background like the TV, and they're still playing. So there is some of that carryover with their difficulties in learning when they do come into the classroom. So what can you do at home? One of the things you can really do is, if you're going to use technology, because technology is wonderful in some aspects. For instance, I don't own an elephant, and if my kids are going to learn about an elephant, they can actually see videos of them. They can see videos of what they eat, where they live. So if you're going to use technology, make sure it's interactive. So we actually have on our YouTube channel a whole bunch of different videos that are interactive that you can go with. So when the video says, everybody put your hands up, make your student put their hands up. And every time they say, oh Toodles and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, you say it with them, oh Toodles, so that they can actually start to respond to that TV and become more interactive, so that when they get into a classroom, they are responding with that teacher and becoming more interactive there. The other thing you can do at home is use a timer. Limit how much technology that your student does have. So if you're going to set a timer for 15 minutes, when that timer is done, go ahead, take that technology away and give them an alternative activity, a book, a hands-on, a building, something where that play routine is going to be in there, so that their brain's going to learn after that 10 or 20 repetitions with play. And the other thing that we really have found is it's best not to give a student a device when they're frustrated, when they're upset. It might look like it calms them down because their body's not moving or they're not screaming anymore, but it really hasn't taken the anxiety or the problem away, because when you do take that iPad away or that iPhone away or that piece of technology away again, that behavior usually does start up again. So feel free, if you take a piece of technology away and your student has a challenge when it's taken away, tell them, oh, you know, it was a rough time taking away this time, you'll lose 5 minutes next time because of your behavior when it had to go away. So some of the other things that you do, that interactive videos at home with your kids, they have Go Noodle, which has a lot of videos that you can do back and forth with them. There's a lot of apps that are out there now that are more interactive. For instance, augmentative reality. Look at this one here where you can actually do the coloring pages and then take the iPad or the phone and put it over it. Quiver is a good example here, where you can actually make what they colored 3D. I have a lot of reluctant learners who don't necessarily want that paper and pencil task, so coloring's not their favorite, but they absolutely want to do it if it means it's going to become digital. So some of the other things that are out there, they now have cars that have that stylus on the bottom of it, so the car becomes the interactive tool that they're using on the iPad, or they have little farm pieces where the animals move on the iPad and interact with that. So again, you're bringing more of that play-based into the technology that we're using. So we like to keep the word camps in mind. If you're going to use technology, see if you can put these 5 things into place: communication, academics, math, play, and being social. So if we're going to use our technology, let's make sure it has some sort of communication in it, and some sort of academic piece, and some sort of math for that counting, some sort of play back and forth to get those neurons firing, and some sort of social piece. A lot of times technology does lead to us kind of hiding in a corner and staring at our screen instead of having that interaction with other people. So my challenge for you at home is see if you can limit how much technology time your students do get, because that play base is what's going to help them learn a little bit faster, a lot of it faster actually. Thanks so much.